This is a QuickStart video tutorial for the Tayasui Sketches app, and we're going to be looking at the free version today. It comes with a notebook that you would open up for your sketches. You can have multiple notebooks, and the notebooks have little pieces of paper that you can slide in and out, and you tap on the piece of paper to open up. The tools are along the side here, and they're pretty self-explanatory. We have a pencil tool that's kind of grainy. This one is a thin marker. This one is a thicker marker. We have an ink pen that has a little bit of a swoop to it. If you draw fast, you get thin to thicker. We have a crayon that's got a nice grainy texture, and then a watercolor that you can use. The colors are down here, so by tapping on it you can get different colors. So there's some yellow. If I tap this again, I can also customize my colors by going over into the color wheel and picking out any color that I want. There is an eraser, which is right down here. And then this right here is a texture tool, and this is pretty unique to apps. I have not seen this in other apps that allows you to draw shapes and textures using your stylus. So if I make an enclosed shape, it's going to fill it with that texture or that color. This would be like a really solid color, and this would be really transparent, which is really nice when you're doing sketch notes to highlight different things. And then also different kinds of textures. Let me change this to a little bit darker color so you can see them better. So we've got, different kinds of cross-hatching, and we've got dots, and we've got some other really cool textures. And I have had fun with these, using them as part of the background to shade in my sketch notes. So I found those to be kind of useful and kind of handy. Over on this side here is where the layers are. The free version only comes with one layer. The paid version has more layers. Over here is your information panel, and it gives you some options, some of which you have to pay for, including the color eyedropper, and then to have a undo redo button. You can change the some things though to autosave. One thing that I like is you can set the tools up to remember the color, so that the thin marker will always be black, the thick marker will always be red. That also is kind of unique to this app. And then it also has, you can change the icons to what they call realistic tools. And so now if I hit go back, the tools look a little more like whatever it is that they're that you're doing. So the marker looks more like a marker, the pen looks a little more like a pen. I like the realistic tools, but somebody else might like the different kinds of tools. And you can pinch and move your canvas around, which is kind of nice. There also is a gesture for undoing, and that is just to use two fingers, and you got to have the right touch. But if you just kind of swoop it real fast along your surface of your iPad, it will undo, or redo. Oh, I guess it looks like redo won't work, just the undo. So that is a good trick to know. And then up here is a help that just kind of reminds you what the different gestures are that are a part of this app. So it's a good app. If you add the paid features, it is even better. One more trick that I'd like to show you is something that you probably should do before you start your sketch note. If you tap over here on these three little lines and open up the layers and tap on the little gear next to the bottom layer, it will ask if you want to erase the base layer, say OK, and it will give you some options here about what your background is. Now you do have to pay to be able to get colors for your layers. But I especially like being able to put a square in, the squares in the grid, press the little X or the little check mark down here, and that will open up a grid that you can draw on so that you can see if you are drawing and staying in line. You can also zoom in, and I think that helps you with being able to see what size you're drawing or writing. And then you can zoom out. Now the app is a little bit touchy sometimes with the zoom in and out with the pinch. I think a recent update kind of messed it up a little bit, so just something to be aware of. One other thing that I need to tell you to be careful for is I had recently that the app entirely froze up and I could not get it to open up again. I was able to back up all my drawings onto my laptop, but then I had to delete the app and reinstall it. So just beware of that. You probably want to save your pictures to the camera roll when you're done. The way that you save your pictures when you are done, you're going to pinch, and then right down here is like a little arrow here that will allow you to decide where you want to save your pictures to. And you would just simply hit Photos, and it will save your completed picture to your camera roll.